My word is enlightenment. After 2 weeks of being submerged in new thoughts and experiences, I feel very much enlightened to the world around me, and I can now see racism, sexism, and ableism alive in our society, while before this course, I was blind to people who didn't have the same privileges that I have being a white, able-bodied individual. And now I feel like I can carry these thoughts into my own environments and society when I leave Philadelphia, and I want to impart the information to others about the white supremacist patriarchy and its effect on society. Enlightenment has allowed me to understand that reactions of others are not all about me, but are rooted in many assumptions that our society places on people, that make people have preconceived notions about others and cloud their relationships and their thoughts about people. And I feel like the enlightenment produced by this course has sparked the fire within me, not just to know the information, but to use it in my classroom and look at situations in new ways and overall improve the world and how people look at things.
The word that I chose was kindness, and it was based off of the kindness that I saw my teacher exhibit towards her students, where she accepted all of them no matter what they were doing, on their good days, on their bad days. She was kind to them no matter what. And I'm going to take that with me into my life, and any person I meet I'm going to treat with kindness no matter what I'm thinking, no matter what assumptions I'm accidentally making. I will treat them with kindness above anything else. In terms of race, gender, and ability, this course has definitely taught me the most about openness. It has taught me to see every person as a person and to not put my own assumptions on them. I think that dismantling the white supremacist patriarchy can be done by everybody meeting everybody else with an open mind, of not confining somebody to a term because of their race or because of their gender or because of their level of ability or disability. And this course has really just helped me to go into any situation with an open mind, and also to see myself with an open mind and understand that I do occasionally have racist thoughts or gendered thoughts or ability-driven thoughts, and to check those and fix them so that in the future I don't have them and I'm aware of what I'm thinking at all times.
Before this class, I didn't know very much at all about racism, sexism, or ableism. And I didn't really think that any of them applied to my life because I wasn't directly dealing with them on a regular basis. And I thought that I was okay, and I was doing an okay thing because I was nice to some people of different races, genders, or ability levels. And my eyes have been opened to how many biases the white supremacist patriarchy really brings to this world and how it really does affect me and my perceptions of the world. I've been a lot more aware of the judgments and assumptions forming inside my own head, and I feel like I can more easily break down these assumptions and I'm not making incorrect assumptions as much as I did before. My life has been completely focused and immersed into Philadelphia and the culture and environment of Philadelphia. And I love how we discuss the readings and how the readings almost perfectly relate to my life in the classroom during the day, the experiences that I share. And it's also very helpful to work as a small cluster and get so close to people and feel so comfortable talking to people about experiences in the classroom and relating them to the readings. And also hearing their input and their stories during the day and learning from what happened to them during the day. In this cluster, I was able to talk about anything that was on my mind, talk about judgments that I might have accidentally had, or just learn and make mistakes and feel not pressured or judged by anything that I said. And my cluster leader would talk to me and help me formulate ideas that I could use in my classroom. And it was a very personal experience and a very hands-on experience talking to people who were going through very similar things that I was going through, and being able to relate this into the classroom and hopefully being able to relate it into my classrooms for the future.
Coming into this course as a non-education major, as a sociology major, I was nervous that I wasn't going to quite fit in, or that it was going to be all about education, which really wasn't quite up my alley. But after doing the readings and reading the syllabus, I realized that this class is a lot more about growing as a person than it was about teaching in a classroom. And through my experience in the classroom, I was able to grow and learn more about a society that I want to work with when I get older, and also a new city, the city of Philadelphia. It was great to do our community service in Norris Square and with the retirement community. I love that we were able to help Pedro achieve some of his life's dream of making an outdoor kitchen, and it was just a great experience and a great bonding experience with the amazing people who are in this program. And getting together every night and talking in our small clusters and even in the big group, it was great to just share. It was great to be able to have your thoughts and get them out and have constructive talks about these really, really tough issues. And I feel like we all grew and we hit everything we needed to hit, and I'm just so thankful for this course because it has opened my eyes, and I've met so many great people through it whose eyes I feel have also been opened. So with the 4 agreements, I think that the first one, speaking impeccably, is the most important, because I think that society's growth is stunted when people try to speak in a politically correct manner. Because when you speak in a politically correct manner, what needs to be said isn't being said, but when you speak impeccably or without sin, what needs to be said can be said, but people aren't harmed in the process. The second assumption, not taking things personally, is definitely the hardest for me to embody, because I do take things personally, and I've been really trying to work on that, and I've been talking through it with my cluster through the course. The third agreement, not making assumptions, ties directly into what I've been taught through this course of being open with everybody I meet. Don't put your own assumptions on them. Let them show who they are as a person. And then the fourth agreement, trying your best, always trying your best, is incredibly important. And I think that if you embody that one, you can find happiness through the 4 agreements. And my example of the 4 agreements has to do with a boy in my school who has a behavioral challenge, and he has an aide. And one day his class was performing for the entire 1st grade. He got very overwhelmed, and he honestly just could not be in that situation anymore. He had to remove himself, and I had to go with him. And at first I was angry because I couldn't understand why this boy just couldn't sit down in the seat with the rest of his class. And then I realized that in that moment he was trying his best, and he was doing his best. And even though his best may not have been the best, he was honestly trying. So because I realized that he was doing that, I then tried my best, and I stood with him, and I stayed with him, and I watched the play through a crack in the door, because I knew that trying my best in that moment would mean giving up a little bit of selfishness of going in to see the play to stand with this boy until his aide came to get him.
I have also seen the 4 agreements as very positive. I've began to speak more positively, and I speak with a purpose, and I make sure I check my facts and make sure I don't make judgments. And I really try to do my best to understand situations before making these judgments. And I've been able to gain a perspective about reasons behind my feelings and opinions of others, and reasons that others may be behaving in certain ways and I haven't been making as many judgments as I was before. The 4 agreements make it a lot easier to stop and think about judgments and assumptions that you may unconsciously make. And this has been shown in my classroom at school through a child who is rowdy and sometimes off task. And when I came into the class, I made an assumption about him, about how he was trying to be off task, or he was trying to be difficult. And I realized that I was making these assumptions not knowing what was going on, and I later found out that he had autism. So it made me rethink of what I did, and made me realize that I did go against the 4 agreements. And it was also hard not to take their behavior personally, that they weren't listening to me. But I stopped myself, and I thought about it, and realized that I shouldn't take it personally, and it's their problem, not mine. And I just need to do my best to help them do their best in the classroom, because they're the student and they're the one who matters.